Alright guys, Gemini, back with another video. And in this video today, I'm going to be talking about how whether you like CM Punk or whether you don't like CM Punk. It's got my DVD. CM Punk changed the game. He absolutely changed the game when he caught Wildfire in 2011, around Money in the Bank time. I mean, CM Punk, man, I know a lot of people hate him because they think he's disloyal and left wrestling, and they say this and that about CM Punk. But the dude changed the game big time, becoming probably one of the most controversial and most listened to and most watched and most viewed wrestlers in wrestling history. If you want the impact of just how much CM Punk changed the game, imagine if CM Punk was sitting at a WrestleCon, signing autographs. Imagine how long his line would be. I mean, CM Punk has a wrestle match in the WWE in 2 years. People still care about him to this day, even though he hasn't even been on TV. And The Art of Wrestling with Colt Cabana, and he hasn't even really been around. But this guy has such a big impact on the wrestling world, and he was such a good world champion, when he held the title for a year, winning it at Survivor Series 2011 versus Alberto Del Rio. I don't know. Some people, it's weird. Some people's destiny is to change wrestling, and there's just something about Punk. There's just a cool way about him. There's just cool mannerisms about him. He says cool things. He's just a cool guy. And when Punk speaks, man, people listen. I can remember a lot of those Raws in 2011, 2012, 2013, where maybe it would be a piece of shit show, and you really were hating Raw. But no matter what Punk was doing on the show, whether it was a backstage promo or, a vignette or just, wrestling or cutting a promo with Paul Heyman, that shit was just on fire. He has such an impact on WWE fans and wrestling fans in general. Shoot, if he came back to, say, Raw, tonight or whenever, man, the fans would still care. People will still tune in to see what the hell CM Punk, has to say. People still legitimately care about CM Punk. They always will. And I've never seen a wrestler who the WWE Universe, I hate that term, but I've never seen a wrestler who the WWE Universe has wanted to come back more or cared about more than CM Punk. This guy literally changed the game, and still to this day, when you go to arenas and live shows and you're talking to people about wrestling, man, CM Punk's name always comes up. This guy literally hates CM Punk, likes CM Punk, whatever. Say whatever you want about him. He's definitely an icon in wrestling, and he's definitely someone who wrestling fans will always think about, will always remember. If you're inside the wrestling bubble like we all are, you'll never forget CM Punk. You'll always remember how you felt when he became white hot in 2011 and beat, established 10-year champion John Cena, at Money in the Bank, and went through that whole ordeal with Vince. And this guy, like I said, hate him, whatever. It doesn't really matter to Punk. He made his dent. He made his mark on wrestling. I don't think anyone can deny that CM Punk definitely will be in the Hall of Fame one day. He will take his rightful spot in the Hall of Fame. CM Punk is a Hall of Famer, to come from, being one of John Cena's, gangsters at WrestleMania 22, to just becoming an icon, and just becoming an immortal in every wrestling fan's mind all over the world. This guy, he hit it big, and people still care about him to this day. So CM Punk definitely made his mark in wrestling. He came from this, WrestleMania 22, where he was a gangster, to, having his own DVD and just becoming a megastar in wrestling. So he's got a big mouth, and he rubs a lot of people the wrong way, but fuck, Punk did it, man. He became just an icon. So That's my thoughts on CM Punk changing the game, and I hope you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel. Gemini, peace out.